made the choice that they're afraid of being criticized. Like, the fact that she doesn't have a shoe is one of the dumbest marketing decisions in sports history. Like, it wasn't crazy when you watched Caitlyn Clark at Iowa for somebody at Nike to get on the phone and be like, hey, we got to have a Caitlyn Clark signature drop for her first game in the WNBA. Let's figure out what it looks like. And, somebody else doesn't have a shoe. Tough shit. All right? That's...
Nike just dropped the ball again, and Caitlyn Clark fans are furious.
Starting at guard, 6 foot from West Des Moines, Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year, winner of the Stain, Sullivan, Wade, Lieberman, Naismith, Boyden, and several other last name awards. A 2-time All-American First Team, 3-time All-Conference First Team, 3-time assist leader, 10-time Won't Miss leader, 2-time Tournament Most Outstanding Player, current even more outstanding player. Conference Player of the Year, Player of the Month, Player of the Week, Player every minute, owner of the conference 3-point record, free throw record, triple-double record, the Iowa State Fair shooting record, the women's all-time NCAA leading scorer, and your new all-time NCAA leading scorer, Caitlyn Clark.
One of the world's biggest sports brands had a golden chance to honor women's basketball's biggest star, but they completely missed the mark.
Of this year's WNBA season, it was announced that Caitlyn Clark signed a massive endorsement deal with Nike. This deal was for 8 years, $28 million with a signature sneaker included. Now, at the time, a lot of us were so excited about this. Nike is obviously the biggest brand in athletic apparel, and Caitlyn seemed to be a perfect fit for the brand. $28 million at the time, while some people, including myself, were saying that this might be a little bit too low because of the superstar that she is, it seemed to be like a fantastic.
Nike's latest WNBA ad is packed with talent, but somehow Caitlyn Clark is nowhere to be found. How do you overlook the player driving record-breaking viewership and selling out arenas nationwide? It's crazy that the league would sideline the one person who, in over 20 years, could finally lift them from obscurity into the mainstream. For the past decade, they've been scrambling for financial support, yet now they ignore the biggest game changer they've ever had.
I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just take a donation around the NBA.
Was this just an oversight, or is there something bigger at play?
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that like you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball better than I usually do, which is positive. But overall, coach in the locker room, we're down 3 in the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. The flow of the game was really bad. I don't know if that was repping. It's probably partly us because we struggled to get stopped at times, but also clock getting messed up. It was just one thing after the next. But overall, it didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but front row.
Fans are roasting Nike on social media, calling out the brand snub like never before. And honestly, it's well-deserved.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't be confident, so be confident. You can't challenge, so challenge. You can't dominate, so dominate. You can't flex, so flex. You can't fill a stadium, so fill that stadium. You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
She's done it.
They have a point. The internet is ablaze with frustration, and it's clear this isn't the first time Nike has treated Caitlyn Clark as an afterthought.
Too much of everybody else and not too much of the person who I actually know. You can't fill stadiums, so fill stadiums. Sorry to be petty tendergrass over here. Of everybody that they showed in that commercial, no one can fill a damn stadium except for...
Let's break down the backlash and why this could go down as one of the biggest marketing flops in recent history. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into sports controversies and breaking news. Now, let's get into it.
So she met with 3 finalists. Under Armour, Stephen Curry was part of that pitch meeting. I'm told the plan in that scenario would have been for her to be a part of Under Armour and Curry brand and possibly wear Curry brand. So Curry brand is basically a standalone, kind of like what Jordan brand is for Nike for Stephen Curry.
Smart by the Curry team, sure.
And so Steph Curry actually FaceTimed into the meeting, talked to Caitlyn Clark, talked to her parents.
You got to show up in person, Steph. Like that,
well, he's also got a season.
Seal the deal. Okay,
there's a lot going on.
Got it.
And I think Caitlyn Clark, Stephen Curry, this is not the end for
Nike's new WNBA ad aired during prime time, right after the Super Bowl, a perfect opportunity to spotlight the league's rising stars. Fans expected Caitlyn Clark to be front and center. Instead, the ad featured A'ja Wilson, Juju Watkins, Sha'Carri Richardson, and Sabrina Ionescu. Great players, no doubt, but Caitlyn's name was nowhere to be found. This omission didn't just disappoint fans, it infuriated them. Imagine dropping an NBA promo without mentioning LeBron James. Caitlyn is the driving force behind the Fever's skyrocketing ticket sales, and the buzz around her isn't just hype, it's earned.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't be confident, so be confident. You can't challenge, so challenge. You can't dominate, so dominate. You can't flex, so flex. You can't fill a stadium, so fill that stadium. You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
She's done it.
The frustration only grew when fans realized Nike had barely acknowledged Caitlyn Clark in her own Rookie of the Year congratulations merch. To many, this wasn't just an oversight, it felt like outright disrespect. Now, fans are calling Nike out hard, demanding answers for the repeated snubs.
Goes to Connecticut, that stadium is as empty as it's ever been. Juju Watkins plays home at USC. That stadium is as empty as it's ever been. Stop it. But this isn't what we're talking about, right? I just had to get that off my chest.
Unfortunately, this isn't Nike's first offense. Fans have noticed a pattern of Caitlyn Clark being sidelined while other players take center stage. Juju Watkins, a talented but much newer name, is getting star treatment despite not having Caitlyn's impact on the game. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson has practically become the brand's poster child. Edge's accomplishments are undeniable, but so is Caitlyn's status as the breakout star. She's not just a player, she's a movement. Little kids want to be her, grown men are buying her jerseys, and her games are now primetime events. Yet, Nike continues to treat her like a background character in her own story.
Catch this? Here's how Nike just dropped a Super Bowl commercial after over 25 years that's got everyone talking. And it's packed with female athletes, including WNBA stars like Caitlyn Clark and A'ja Wilson, showing just how they rule the game with their relentless grind. Now, aside from Caitlyn Clark and A'ja Wilson, the ad also features other exceptional talents like Sha'Carri Richardson, Sabrina Ionescu, Juju Watkins, and Jordan Childs. With recent Grammy-winning rapper Doechii on the mic, the commercial drops a message that's as bold as a game-winning.
It's, what are the best ads of the year? And there was one that we wanted to highlight, but there was a Nike ad. It's the first Super Bowl ad in 27 years and featured a load of female athletes, including, one of the biggest episodes we've ever done, in Caitlyn Clark.
I love Nike commercials. I've been a huge fan of Caitlyn Clark since she's been in college. Obviously through the Olympics.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yep.
You can't win, so win.
Yeah. Speaking of all the things they say women can't do.
Yeah. If there's one thing I can firmly get on board with is telling a bunch of people who think you can't do something to shove it. I'm all on board with that. That's a great message by Nike.
I'm with that as well.
With some incredible athletes.
A bunch of familiar faces, yeah.
Gold medal winners. Friggin'